Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis, and in this video I wanted to give you a guide for stage level 200 in battle ranking event. And in this battle ranking we have two bosses, Yuffie and A-Rejector, and you need physical fire for Yuffie and magic wind for A-Rejector, and to get all those available rewards we need to clear one of those battles at stage level 200 with all available negative modifiers set to max, and you just need to clear one battle, so it depends on your account which boss you are better equipped for. For Yuffie you need physical fire, and we have more options here because Vincent with his newest banner is obviously the best DPS, but there is still Cloud or Yuffie. And for support DPS, Angel will be the best option if you pulled on the banner, but Lucia will also be great with her Marine Shooter or Seth with Radiant Edge. Or you could even use Cait Sith to debuff fire resistance, especially if you have his banner ultimate weapon. Also if you have Terra, you could use Aerith, but Aerith with Baharut and Camera is obviously the best support healer. So we have many options for this battle, but I definitely recommend equipping something to debuff Yuffie's not only physical attack but also magic attack, as well as having defensive stats and both defensive buffs, because at stage level 200 you'll be losing your max HP very quickly. But I'm using Sephiroth, Matt and Cloud. Seph as debuffing DPS, Matt as support and Cloud as DPS, and I'm using Matt because I don't have Aerith's camera, so Matt is a better option for me only because he can buff physical attack and both defenses, and I don't pull for most characters, so even though there are better options, I'm using Seth and Cloud because they are my best and only options. And I have a few equipment slots empty, but you should just put there your best equipment that will boost those required stats further. Matt has Gear Voucher outfit with Vanquishing X, and I have this limit break only because it has the fastest charge time, Syringe for both defensive buffs, Bramble Spine to buff physical attack, Matt's ultimate weapon, and Cura and OQ Materia slot, 2 stat sticks, and in sub-equipment slots Matt has 2 guild weapons, one with magic defense for allies and the other one with physical defense for allies. Sephiroth has Fire Mastery outfit with Crimson Flare, Radiant Edge to debuff fire resistance, Northern Light to debuff physical attack, and I can also recommend equipping Kuja instead if you have it, Genji and Fire Blow in Fire Boost slot to do some damage, a stat stick, and in sub-equipment slot Seth has Bahamut Sword to boost Cloud, 4-point Shuriken and Wind Slash for buff debuff extension, so I don't have to reapply those debuffs very often. Lastly, Cloud has Fire Arcanum outfit with Hellfire, Sky Splitter for DPS, Log to buff fire damage, Ultimate Buster, and 2 stat sticks. And in sub-equipment slots Cloud has X-Staff for HP, Boomerang to max out his physical attack, and both have Fire Potency and Enemy Launcher for some physical ability potency. At the beginning of the battle you want to start applying all buffs and debuffs, so Sephiroth Radiant Edge, Cloud I'm going to use Log twice for max fire damage, and also Matt Syringe once, and make sure that Yuffie's physical attack is debuffed in time before this attack hits. And after this attack you can choose whether you want to buff Cloud's physical attack or use Syringe second time for high potency buffs. And that's what I'm going to use because Yuffie is going to buff her magic attack very shortly, and I don't have anything to debuff it with other than Buster Sword. So that's why I'm going to use the Ultimate Braver to nullify that, and now we can start doing some DPS here. Alright, reapply the buffs. And here she should be, well, oh really, I just used Fire Blow when I was waiting for that physical attack buff, but you want to wait, save AB on your debuffer for that moment, which I kind of screw up a little bit because I wanted to use Northern Lights twice to debuff it, not only nullify it, but I was a little bit too late, and that was weird. This delay, maybe server lag, I'm not sure, but I have to reapply those buffs and debuffs again because they expired, so just a little bit. But also it's a little bit weird with Yuffie because her charge attacks are physical, and in between those charge attacks her normal attacks are magic. So that's why you want to have both shields and ideally also magic attack debuffs on her. But Bloodbath is not a very dangerous attack. It's single target, but it really doesn't hurt too much. But also I am waiting for Matt's limit break to do all 3 limit breaks and summons at the same time, but also I want to make sure that every character is buffed, so that those buffs don't expire. And that Yuffie animation is annoying because you just pressed some attacks and now they were interrupted. Alright, just one more physical attack on the Cloud and we are good to go. Because without that physical attack buff, Hellfire wouldn't hit that strong, and we are trying to kill Yuffie as quickly as possible, as efficiently, because our max HP is going down very fast because of those battle effects, and you have to survive long enough to kill Yuffie. Oh. Actually, I didn't think she would die here. But yeah, so that's pretty much the whole thing. Just try to kill Yuffie and don't die in the process because of that max HP depleting at a very fast rate. But yeah. For A-Rejector, Magic Wind is required, and unlike with Yuffie, we don't have many options for this battle because most wind weapons deal physical damage. So it's mostly just Aerith or Nanaki, and both their wind weapons are 1 year old now. And now Yuffie with her newest Christmas banner. And there are no other options unfortunately, so I guess Aerith, even though her personal isn't great, it's still the best magic DPS option as we simply don't have anything better or stronger. And then Nanaki or Yuffie can be used as debuffing DPS. And for support, ideally you want to have magic attack and magic defense buffs, and if possible something to debuff Rejector's magic attack. So I think Barret is the best option here with his newest banner weapon, or also Barret has Micro Laser to buff magic attack, but his newest banner weapon allows him to buff both. Matt doesn't have anything to buff magic attack with, but you could use Aerith if you have her FF9 stuff. But for Ejector you need Magic Wind DPS, something to debuff Magic Defense and Wind Resistance, Magic Defense and Magic Attack buffs, and if possible also something to debuff Rejector's Magic Attack with. Also, this battle is a DPS race, so you need to have enough DPS to kill the boss before you run out of time, and with this team I am very close with the timer. I'm using Aerith, Barret and Nanaki, with Aerith being DPS, Nanaki debuffing DPS and Barret support. Barret has Give Out Your outfit with Satellite Beam, Micro Laser to buff magic attack, and for all Q materia slot, Escutcheon to buff magic defense, and both weapons buff magic attack, but because my Escutcheon is low overboosted, its buffs don't last long, so that's why I have Micro Laser, then Cura in all Q materia slot, Defaith and Mana Breach, and in sub-equipment slots Barret has 4-point Shuriken for buff debuff extension, Baharot and Gale Weapon with magic defense for all allies. Nanaki has Canyon outfit, Stardust Ray to nullify Rejector's attack buffs, Canyon Collar for wind DPS, Silver Collar to debuff wind resistance, Ultimate Weapon, and 3 magic attack stat sticks, and in sub-equipment slots Nanaki has Syringe and Citric Wand for buff debuff extension, and Protector's Blade to boost Aerith. Aerith has Bahamut outfit with Seal Evil, Sun Umbrella for stats and magic attack ability, Prism Rod for DPS, Ultimate Princess God, 3 magic attack stat sticks, and in sub-equipment slots Mithril Saber to max out M attack, Pulse Gun and Magic Shuriken for a little bit more wind potency. Because we start the battle being almost dead, I'm just starting to buff on magic defense. And also, don't worry about Doom, it doesn't hit you, so you don't have to switch to defense, it only applies to Doom status, so now the clock is ticking. But with Nanaki and Aerith, I'm just going to do DPS. But with Barret, I'm not going to heal, I'm just continuing to buff, because I have Princess Guard with Jubilation, so that's where this big heal comes from. But otherwise, if I didn't have it, I would have to use some ADB to heal first, before I would be able to apply buffs and debuffs. But also I won't be able to kill those Dorky and Doltish faces. And that's fine, they are not dangerous, they are just a little bit annoying, that's all. But they should be dead here. And it's just A-Rejector left, so now with Nanaki and Aerith you just want to focus on doing the DPS on him. Yes, this battle is kind of a DPS race. You have to kill A-Rejector before he kills you, before the time runs out, because that's when you die. But here in Invoke Curse it's not a dangerous attack. On Flare he buffs his magic attack, so that's why I am not going to use my limit breaks, because it's not really worth to use them. Just one D-Faith and make sure that your magic defense is buffed, A-Rejector's magic attack is debuffed, and just switch to defense on that. But yeah, limit breaks or summons, they don't do much damage here because of that battle effect. It debuffs all kinds of non-elemental damage. And also, when you see Quagga, I recommend switch to defense, because surprisingly it hurts quite a lot. So this is the second one, I'm just going to heal here. And I know my buffs have expired and I'm actually going to use Micro Laser second time on Nagi, because now both of them have it and I don't have to worry about having to reapply that Escutcheon buff the whole time, because that will only be for magic defense. But here Flare is coming, so that's why I'm using limit breaks now, to nullify those 4 extra high magic attack buffs. I also continue to doing DPS because it's getting pretty close to being game over. And of course the server lag. Right, reapply the buffs again, but wind resistance debuff, and continue doing DPS because it's getting close, but we still should be fine. $200 left. Just one more attack. Yeah, perfect. But yeah, that was getting very close. Because when that timer reaches 0, you die. That's game over. And you have to try again. But yeah, that's the battle. And I think Yuffie is the more accessible stage level 200 option, simply because we have more physical fire. and here it's just Aerith and Nanaki and not much else. But yeah, I hope you found my guides helpful, and thank you very much for watching. And I also try to have those high score battle guides done very soon, so hopefully tomorrow. But yeah, I hope to see you next one.